We fixin' to make this town real smoking.
Today we're talking about the character Anna Williams in two ways. One, why does Harada always reference this character either in polls and tweets? Like, he always is talking about this character. You don't see random tweets from Harada about like Gigas polls. He's like specifically highlighting this character in ways that he doesn't do for other characters. But then the other way we want to talk about this character in this video is, of course, DLC. Now, we know there's this leak that's going on, and I refuse to believe it. Not because it's like bad evidence or anything, it's just because I feel like these characters here, Marduk, Lydia, and Fakram, is just horrible selections. I understand these characters may be either popular here or beloved here, or this character's a staple this, but as they ended in Tekken 7, the most current thing that comes up in players' mind when they think about these characters is anger, is I hate this, I don't like that. So I understand these characters may have a significant place in the player's heart at one point, but where they stand now is just not favorable at all. And I don't know why Tekken 8 would start off this incredible game. This game is incredible. Yes, it has its hurdles, but why would you start off your game DLC with characters who are controversial? Simple as that. When you think about what characters should be there, I mean, look at this response to Fight Stick, one of the most liked tweets, and it simply has Anna in it. Anna is what a lot of players want. Harada knows this. So if he knows people want Anna, they beg for Anna, and then he's also tweeting about it, doing polls, you have to wonder if there's something deeper happening there. The first poll he did comparing the two sisters, it says Anna or Nina. You have 34,000 votes on this poll, and Anna comes out on top, 53%. What I always find so interesting about these two sisters, this is just a side note, is how they're really like neck and neck. Their statistics, what you talk about Tekken 7, or just how people view them, it really is like a draw. It's like a tie. And that's kind of the thing that's been hurting Anna all over these years. These two characters, they really are kind of equal. But the thing is that Nina came first. She's the female character who's been in every single Tekken game. So she kind of takes priority over Anna for that reason. If you go back to Tekken 7, and this is the thing too, right? When Harada makes these tweets like this, we can't just write it off as like, whatever, Harada's just, doing Harada. Like, he likes to troll, he likes to tease and see what people, he likes to poke and prod, it's Harada-san we're talking about here. If you go back and look at tweets that came way back with Tekken 7, because this situation is repeating itself. Tekken 7, Nina base roster, Anna came as DLC. And if we could just look at what Harada was doing now and compared to then, it kind of gives us a answer. Here you have a tweet where someone is basically celebrating Anna's reveal into Tekken 8. Harada says, thanks. By the way, where did the people who were spamming "we need Anna" with dirty words go? They said they are the biggest community, but I have not seen them lately. What's so interesting about this is the duality of characters. When a character is not in the game, they are the most requested thing ever. But as soon as that character shows up, then no one plays them. It's a ghost town. It's absolutely nothing there. When Harada does the poll again, as he says, you have almost double the votes, 50,000. It's a little bit closer this time, 49-51. Once again, this just speaks to how close these characters are and why, if you go back to Nina being in every game, that's the tipping point basically for Nina. But Anna wins this poll as well. Once the poll concluded with over 60,000 votes, Harada added to this, 1% in this case is not significantly different. 3.4% or more would have been significant. We really don't know why he's gauging these polls. What I will say is in the past he did Tekken Ball versus something else, and Tekken Ball came out on top, and it was eventually announced for Tekken 8. Just once again, looking at the patterns of Harada, you have to wonder if the same thing will happen. He did say this tweet that's very legendary. Guest characters is something that's not going to be done just yet. We thought he just meant the base roster in general, but it seems like he's like really meaning like maybe for season 1 pass. Like if you go back to that leak, no guest characters in it. Now, talking about whether or not this character could be DLC, I mean, you guys are gonna like this. High Buff Gigas has 2 tweets here. These tweets are so profound. For those of you who don't know, there's a lot of dialogue in the game that's not actually in the game. We can see glimpses of it in the files, but as of now, it's not there yet. For example, you have Jun vs. King, where Jun is complimenting King's mask. You have Asuka vs. Jin, where Asuka is antagonizing Jin for the war that he started back in Tekken 6. You have one between Reina and Jun that is very interesting, where Reina is slandering Mommy Jun Kazama. You should have stayed dead, vile woman. She does the same thing to Kuma. The last one here, it says Lee versus ... We'll be seeing some magnificent fireworks tonight. Players feel this is referencing Anna's Tekken Tag Tournament 2 win animation where you have fireworks in the sky. And players also feel it's referring to Lee and Anna's relationship of the past. It's kind of died down a lot in current Tekken, but if you go back and watch the motion picture, this is very prominent. Lee is using both Nina and Anna. He's talking to both of them at the same time, and he's really trying to manipulate the situation to get exactly what he wants. That is what players are drawing a connection to here. And if it's not Anna in this situation, I mean, it's hard to put another character's name in this equation and make it make sense, especially when you talk about the second one. The second tweet from High Buff Gigas, it has a long list once again of character dialogues, but I want to focus on the one with Nina. Nina versus ... The outro, this is when Nina wins. As a fool once said, it's time to say goodnight. This is Nina quoting her sister. But here's the thing, right? The reason why I don't believe that Nina is saying this to Anna is because it kind of doesn't make sense for Nina to be referencing her sister talking to her sister. If Nina was talking directly to Anna, this sentence would be shaped in a totally different way. I mean, if you look down at Lee versus Nina's dialogue, this is when Lee wins. Now then, I'll contact you at a later date regarding the contract. These 2 tweets from High Buff Gigas is very interesting, especially when you combine it with everything that Harada's doing, with what happened previously, the tweets. I mean, it's just very fascinating. I think Anna eventually will show up in Tekken 8. Like, if we go back to what Shootsman said, I just don't think it will be Season 1. You can't go all out with Season 1. You do have to save some heavy hitters for Season 2, for Season 3. But what's interesting about Anna in comparison to all the female characters, especially the ones who are not in the game, Katarina, Josie, Lucky Chloe, you name it. All of the other female characters are controversial to a degree. Yes, some people will like this individual character, Lucky Chloe, Katarina, Josie, whoever, Julia, but Anna is the one who everyone loves. And whether or not people play the character long term, when they announce her, people will buy it, people will celebrate, and I don't know if that's enough for the developers to be happy with. We know now, after experiencing Tekken 7 for like 6 years, that people will buy a character on launch, but then in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, that character will be dropped and it will just sit there. Is that something that Bandai Namco wants to tap into again, or do they really want people to play these characters long term? I don't know.